everyone. Hi. Happy Sunday. Today is May 29th, and we are back again at 7:30 for yet another very exciting, interesting, my favorite topic on travel. And I have a very special guest who I am now meeting him after 2 years of lockdown, and he will be joining us very soon from India. But in the meantime, welcome to this edition of Heart to Heart with Ethel Da Costa. Heart to Heart is brought to you in association with the MAC Clinic, which is Malaysia's premier aesthetic institution, fronted by my buddy, my best friend, and, friend of heart, as I call him, Dr. Hugh, who is the medical director of the MAC Clinic. And all the, and everyone is back in action too with lockdowns up. Malaysia's come back in full force. All the restaurants are busy, all the night spots are busy, the clubs have opened up, people are out eating, drinking, partying, meeting friends. So I had a very eventful weekend myself. As they say, work hard, party harder, being the motto of what I do, I guess, So I hit a couple of night spots in Malaysia, which is Murray Star, a fashion lounge in Bukit Bintang. Last night I was at Bijan, which is one of Malaysia's oldest and very prestigious Malaysian, very high-end restaurant, and there was this huge party that was happening there. Today I did brunch with another buddy of mine who's also a Mind Valley life coach, Shalini, at this lovely Kerala restaurant called Kyra. And it's long conversation, over beers and good health food, vegan health food, talking about I think our journeys of relationships, self-discovery, spiritual growth, why it is so important for women for women and men to invest in themselves, find help, seek help if required, to become, to sort out your issues, your traumas, anything and everything that supports a better relationship with yourself, and therefore better relationships with others too. So that was, the weekend. And as I said, I can see Dipanshu Goyal, who is my guest for today. And we will be talking about, our favorite topic, travel, and what are our plans for 2022. How have we used our time while being stuck in one place, because it's so unfamiliar to our nature as travel writers and travel bloggers and destination influencers. And Dipanshu will share, very soon about, his own contribution, his own experiences in the travel industry. So join in wherever that you are, with a cup of tea. I have strawberry tea today that I'm drinking, which I bought from the Cameron Highlands, or a cool can of beer or a glass of wine, because it is still the weekend. And it's great to kind of wind down, and join in with a conversation. And, as I said, Heart to Heart is all about empowering leadership. And that's why I call it, the Leadership Soul series, because we want to know what goes on beyond, personalities and individuals, and find out how they make a difference, how they can impact the lives of others through the work that they do. So hold on to your seats. And let me just get Dipanshu online with me right now. Hang on. There you are, Dipanshu. Hi, welcome to Heart to Heart.
Thank you. Good to see you, Ethel, after such a long time.
I know, 2 years is a long time.
Yes.
Yeah, and the last we met was in Malaysia, and we became friends in Malaysia, correct?
Yes,
at the Visit Malaysia 2020 program.
Yes.
And I think, like for all of us, that visit completely changed a lot of our inner lives, like I was sharing with you. I remember you helping me to find out hostels and stuff like that I wanted to kind of, remember? I wanted to kind of stay back, and it was like, yeah, try this thing, try that one, and then I finally landed in Chinatown, and then the rest is history.
And since then you are in Malaysia.
Since that time I'm in Malaysia, yeah, correct. I never went back, to India, because I found home,
Yes.
and home is wherever the heart and soul is happy, It can be just anywhere, yeah. So So welcome. I'm really happy to see you. Really happy to kind of, have you onto the show. And it's your favorite topic and my favorite topic, travel.
Yes.
Yeah, travel. So, in my introduction of you, Dipanshu, I kind of introduced, to say that what you do professionally, as a travel writer, travel blogger, you have been a TV journalist as well, for over, I think, 10, 15 years, correct?
Yes, 10 years. Yes.
Yeah. And I can see from, your Facebook posts and things that way that you're already, traveling yourself.
Yes.
Uh, can you share your 10-year journey with our audiences? What it has been like?
10 years of journalism.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, oh, that's a tremendous journey, I would say, because I think I wanted to be a journalist.
Hmm.
And in 2004, I got admission in IIMC,
Okay.
Indian Institute of Mass Communication, which is a
Uh-huh.
premier journalism institute in India.
Hmm.
So after that, after 1 year at IMC, I started my journalism journey in 2005 with
Okay.
Doordarshan News, which is a public broadcaster in India,
Yes.
DD News.
Yes.
So that journey is definitely it's a tremendous journey, and as a journalist, and because I love traveling, so
Hmm.
both the profession are like it's closely mingle with each other because in
Mm-hmm.
journalism also we go to a new places like new states every time and do
Yes.
stories. So during that 10 years, I got many opportunities to see different parts of India
Hmm.
and some parts where usually like a common people we can't go or we don't have access to these
Yes.
parts. So as a journalist you have some kind of like extra mileage to
Hmm.
go to such places to meet
Yes.
some different
You
people.
have privilege.
Yes,
We
and that
create
time,
privilege, right? Our work creates privilege. Yeah. Yeah. Correct.
so as a journalist you have some kind of privileges. So I because of that privileges I traveled some different parts of India and
Hmm.
some abroad also,
Mm-hmm.
which were like Afghanistan. I've been to Afghanistan in 2011,
Oh,
and
okay.
that time there was no travel visa for Afghanistan.
Okay.
So and it's very difficult. Even if you try, it was very difficult to get a travel visa at that time also because there was no as such a travel industry there. So I went
Mm-hmm.
there as a journalist and I left. I stayed in Kabul for a week. So
Okay.
that was
Wow.
a lovely experience, I would say. Like I loved that city. I loved
Mm.
that. Within a week, I traveled inside Kabul only because the situation was not so good to go out
Yes.
uh, because of some political situation was not
Yeah.
correct at the time because I went in May 2011.
Okay.
So
Okay.
Osama bin Laden was killed in 2nd of May, and I went there on 9th of May. So the
Oh,
situation was not so good in Kabul.
yeah. Yeah.
So I was advised to not to go outside Kabul, but I really enjoyed my trip. I really enjoyed
Ah.
it. So
Yeah.
such kind of
Strange.
privileges I got as a journalist.
Yeah.
That
Quite
journey
quite
was
strange,
very
right? Yeah. I mean, Kabul of all the places.
yes,
Like we were discussing, offline too. I think a lot of places that we want to go to, it has just been tainted with so much of wrong propaganda or wrong kind of news to kind of create a sense of uh, you know insecurity, fear, a sense of being unsafe, right? That way. But then, as you were, when as we were saying that the most life-changing experiences, and I'm sure you will agree, happens in situations of that sort, where you go
definitely,
completely unarmed, so to say, and then
definitely.
boom, your life just kind of goes for a complete different toss.
Yes, and that's why I love traveling. Actually, it gives you a totally different perspective. What
Yes,
you
yeah.
read and what you see in media that may be a different thing. And when you go to a place and you talk to the people and you travel there, then you definitely get a different picture.
Yeah, yeah.
So in that way, traveling is really an eye opener. I think everyone should travel. That is why I always tell my friends that you should travel to different places all the time and try to explore new things.
Yeah,
Because
yeah.
beyond, if you go beyond the set things, then you see the the different story, the real thing. So in that terms, travel is it's really a positive thing.
Yeah, it is soul expansion. I call it
Yes.
soul expansion because I truly feel that, and I've been traveling uh, ever since I was a child. So it is addictive now. In that way.
So,
Yeah, and still lots more to go and lots more to see and do. So Dipanshu, which role gives you the most happiness and why?
I think I think it's a difficult question now because I have a family, I'm a husband, like I have my family, parents, and all, and
Hmm.
I love every kind of role. Like as a family man, also I love that role also. But definitely, as a traveler, it gives me the most happiness because I think I also love traveling since my childhood,
Hmm.
and I can remember my days. I think I may be like 4 5 years old or something, and I can remember the boating. I was boating and like inside the Naini Lake in Nainital with my parents. I can still
Ah,
remember those days, and so since my childhood, I loved traveling. And I think it's and then it became my profession. Like as a travel writer,
yes,
also I developed myself
yes,
as a travel writer, I could say. So I think that role gives me a pleasure definitely, and that role is very important for me also because it has a lot of responsibilities also.
yeah,
That
yes.
to give to give
I
a correct information to my readers, and now I have a YouTube also to my like audience
hmm.
that they should get a real picture of the place and the
Yes,
true information. That is also very important. So I would say that role I definitely love that as a travel, and
yes.
people recognize me as a traveler. That gives me very gives me
Yeah,
happiness.
gives
Like
you happiness. Yes.
if I meet someone and people say, "Oh, you are a traveler," that and sometimes people say you are doing the one of the best job of the world.
Hmm. Correct.
So it gives me a happiness that okay,
I think in that sense we are very lucky to be doing what we truly love. So they
yes,
don't feel like jobs, right? I mean, they just feel
yes,
like
yeah,
extensions of our lives. Yeah, and you're right. I think a travel journalist has so much responsibility to be authentic, to be correct, and to have the right to create the right perception and
yes.
information for people who will read you or watch you. Yeah, correct. Yeah, that is so cool. Which brings me to my next question. What is required of an individual to become a really good travel blogger or a travel journalist? What qualities and qualifications are needed that you can recommend? Because I know that a lot of students also or young people, they look at it as a fad. I don't know if they look at it as a long-term career, but we've been around for a very long time, and I'm sure you have some very valuable information to share with us too.
As a travel writer, as a travel journalist, I think first thing is you should love traveling.
Hmm.
So if you love traveling, then you will love this job, the job of writing also.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
first you should love traveling. If you love traveling, then try to explore things. And I would say uh, go the beyond set itineraries
Hmm.
and try to meet people. As a journalist, definitely it comes in you. If you like train as a journalist, so if you train yourself as a journalist, so the best thing is like the important thing is to talk to the local people. Like whenever you go, don't just stick to the hotel, don't just stick to the taxi, just go to a local shop, talk to that local shop person, talk to the taxi driver, talk to some auto driver
Hmm.
or
Hmm.
some random people, like spend some time actually. Slow travel is also in like it's a in thing nowadays. So do
Yes.
some slow travel, and as a writer also, it is very important. As a tourist, maybe you can go and you can quickly you can as a set itinerary you can see things. But if you go as a writer, then you should see things
Yeah.
beyond the itineraries. Then you have to stay there. So have
Correct.
some patience, stay there, and talk to the people and listen as much as you can. Like
Yes.
I remember during my journalism days, it's not definite, it's not related to travel, but I was
Hmm.
doing some free on some mills like cotton mills which were like
Okay.
closed
Okay.
for years, and then somehow I got a number of some old union leader, and I
Hmm.
called him that I want to do a story on this. It was in Nagpur, so he said to me that I'll give you the time, no problem, but once first you have to listen to me. The
Yes.
journalists to come and they just ask question and they just go. So I
Correct.
said, okay, no problem, I'll listen to you. And
Hmm.
he said, I only have time in the evening or late evening. So
Hmm.
I was there around 8 o'clock. I listened the entire story till 11 o'clock. So
Okay.
I sit there. I just made some few notes and listened
Yes.
it till 11 o'clock, 3 hours. And after that, I asked him like 2, 3 questions, which I really wanted to. So that kind of patience you should have as a journalist
Hmm.
also and as a
Hmm.
travel writer also.
Hmm. Hmm.
So I think otherwise, if you go and if you have a knack of like finding new things, you will definitely find some stories.
Yes, correct.
Mm,
Because I think the integral part of travel is storytelling, right?
yes,
And there's
yes,
so much to tell, Dipanshu, if you kind of really know where to
mm,
look.
yes, and the popular places also they also have such lot of stories which are still not available. In fact, people know, but it's not available on media. Like I was in Kerala for 15 days back, and I was staying in Fort Kochi, and people go to Mattancherry area and they and they see the Jew street. It's the famous
Hmm.
street, and they have the oldest synagogue there, and because the Jews came there for around 2000 years back, and it is a very famous area. So
Okay.
it's a touristy area. People go and they see the Mattancherry Palace, and then they go to Jew Street. But behind the Jew Street, just
Yes.
100 meters away from Jew Street, there is a Gujarati street, and
Okay.
Gujaratis are living there for almost like 500 years. Like they started coming there in 12th centuries,
Hmm.
and people
Hmm.
hardly talk about them. Like it's not in the touristic itinerary at all, but it should
Okay.
be. Uh,
Yes.
maybe few people know about that, but I wasn't aware. So
Hmm.
this
Hmm.
this trip, I went there with my guide, I was like totally amazed that just 100 meters away from a Jew street, there is a Gujarati street, and entire Gujarati community is staying, living there for the past 500 to 700 years, and they are
Yes.
still like, they are like, they have their own temples, their culture, Garba and all, everything. They are like,
Hmm. Hmm.
so staying in a different state and following their own rituals also, it is a fascinating story. So I came back and I write about that also. And the Fort Kochi, it has a lot of like different communities that settled in Fort Kochi from around India in the last 500 years. People from Goa also, like
Yes.
Konkan is there. There is a large community of Konkani people that settled there in last 500 years.
Hmm.
So
Hmm.
this kind of stories can come if you stay there, and it
Yeah.
just suddenly came. Like I was talking to my with my guide, and he just told me that we can go to the Gujarati street and we can see some different area, and suddenly I got this story. So
Right.
such kind of stories you can get if you stay and talk to the people.
Yeah. So there must be a level of curiosity, and I think
Yes,
as trained journalists, that is what has been our almost like an inbreeding process, right? To be
yes,
constantly curious, to be
yes,
constantly asking questions, to never kind
yes,
of take things for granted, right? And that is how then you get to stories that suddenly people or uh, commercial tourism. We keep talking about that, where you keep beating the same spots to everybody
yes, yes,
else,
yes.
and you miss the actual storytelling, which could
Yeah.
also, be so eye-opening. Yeah, yeah,
Right.
yeah,
You
you're
can
right.
read a lot actually. If you are going to some place, try to
Hmm.
read something about that place. A lot of material is available on internet also. Maybe
Yes,
something correct, something incorrect, maybe, but you will get a certain amount of clarity that this may be there, these things are there.
yes,
So do some pre-research also, because whenever as a journalist also, you should always do your pre-research.
yeah, yeah.
Pre-research
To do
your
your
story.
homework.
Yes, do your homework, know about the place, know about the history, because history is definitely it's related with travel actually.
Hmm.
Wherever you travel starts with history. Without
Yeah,
history, I think half of the traveling places will not available. Like it will not be there.
yes,
So
correct.
read little bit of history, know little bit of culture thing about the place, and then you will definitely get some story to
Yes.
go. any place in the world. Just
Correct.
read some, do some research.
Right. So to my listeners who are logging in and joining in, I can see the chat box getting active now. Everyone thinks that it's such a glamorous job. I have people always telling me, "Oh my God, Ethel, I want your life." So I tell them, this life has taken me a long time, almost 32 years of my life to build. It just doesn't happen pop out of the unknown. It takes dedication, hard work, commitment to it, and a sense of intense curiosity, like constantly, trying to understand how the wheels turn and then turning and moving with them. So patience, resilience, I think is also part of, building
Yes,
successful careers, right? Dipanshu?
true, true.
Yeah. So of all the places that you've traveled, which have been life-changing for you?
Oh, there are many. I think I learned something or other, like something from each of my travel. Like each traveling expedition, like each traveling my trip, I
Okay.
always get something or other. Like, but life changing. In 2008, I went to Siachen. So it's the highest battleground of the world.
Yes.
It's a border area between India and Pakistan, and it's
Hmm.
the highest glacier, one of the highest glacier of the world, the second largest glacier after, I think,
Everest?
Arctic.
Something. Oh,
So
okay. Okay.
it's the second largest glacier. It's almost 76 kilometers long. So staying there, it was an eye opener for me, just to see the life of Indian Army, and
Yes.
how do they live in such a difficult condition where temperature goes like minus 15 winters
My
as well,
God. Yeah.
and summers also is always in minus in the
Hmm.
day or in the evening. I was there in month of October, and one day the temperature was like almost like minus 20 or something.
Wow.
So I was there inside the. I tracked with Indian Army
Okay.
and
Okay.
got some glacier mounting training at the base camp, and then
Hmm.
the entire media troop, we went up to the camp 3, and there was some weather changes, so we couldn't go up beyond that point. But
Okay.
for 8 days we were inside the glacier, and it was definitely a life changing experience for me, because after that I realized that I can trek also, and
Yes.
I had to
Hmm.
carry my all
Hmm.
bag, because
Hmm.
at that time we got a training that we have to carry our own backpack also, and
Okay.
almost a
Okay.
weight of like 12 kgs or around 15 kgs. Before that also I did some treks, but we used to give our backpacks to our porters and all. But
Yes.
since then, I always carry my backpack with me. Like I always carry my backpack myself on my trips. So
Hmm.
after that trip, I realized that and since then I am regularly trekking in Himalayas. I try to do trek like at least one
How
trek in.
awesome. Yeah. I always envy people who can do things that way, put themselves in the elements of nature, and then you become one with nature in terms of battling it all out, right? Good weather, bad weather, whatever.
Yes.
I don't know, whether I've not tested myself in that sense. To kind of really
Mhm.
understand if I can do things that way. Of course, I just keep plucking myself and putting myself into different, countries, and I think I'm quite adept at that. But going into nature and camping and the wilderness that way, I don't I have not done. Though I should now challenge myself, you know, to experience that too. Because as you said, these are all life enriching experiences, right?
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. And I love camping, and I love wildlife also. So camping helps me in my wildlife trips as well. So I
Mm,
can stay in
mm. And
jungle
you, and you
for
do
some
quite a lot of them because I keep seeing your photos outdoors.
time.
Right. Yeah, which brings us, to our next, kind of conversation topic about what do you understand of responsible tourism, and what does it really mean? Correct, because we keep hearing this word, you know, responsible tourism, responsible tourism. What does it really mean? I would like to know from you, and what is our individual role to ensure that we do not kind of, we don't create damage where we go, right, to the areas, to the land, to its ecosystems. Correct? Yeah. Yeah.
Ac- Actually, responsible travel, it's a big term. And nowadays, after COVID,
Hmm.
people are talking a lot about responsible tourism. And
Yes.
yes, now it's a in thing. Like people are talking that we should go towards responsible tourism if we want to see our earth like in a better, if we want to make our earth a better place.
Yes.
So, and for me, responsible tourism, before responsible tourism, you have to be a responsible person actually in your
Yeah.
own life. If you are not a responsible person in your normal life, you cannot be a responsible traveler as well.
Yes.
So, like it's not a switch off
Wonderful.
and switch on, that you cannot switch off that a different person in Delhi and you cannot switch on a different person on a hill station.
Yeah.
Different and suddenly become a responsible person. It's not possible. So you
Correct.
have to be a responsible person in your normal routine. Try to
Hmm.
be a responsible person in your normal routine. Not only environmentally, and environmental is just it's one factor of responsible tourism, as I think.
Hmm. Hmm.
Socially responsible, you have to be socially responsible, economically responsible. There are many aspect of responsibility you should.
Yes.
So in your real
Wonderful.
life, try to
Wonderful.
like, yeah. So consume less, consume less energy, try to consume less products if you can do, try to help some people if you can. If you are going on a street, don't do road rages, like don't abuse anyone, like follow the rules. I think all these things gives you a responsibility
Hmm. Hmm.
and gives you a positivity. And when you go outside, like in a jungle area or in a wildlife or in a hill or on a hill station, then you will automatically feel responsible.
Yes.
Otherwise, nobody can switch on you that now you are above 2,000 meters and you have to be responsible. That is not possible, and you cannot possible.
Yes.
So I've seen people, they are throwing garbages on hill stations and wildlife because they do the same thing on their cities
Absolutely.
as well. They
Yes.
just
Absolutely.
so it's a very difficult thing. Like it takes time, but start your journey from your own place. If you are
Hmm.
staying in the city, start your journey being a responsible person first, and then you will definitely become a responsible traveler.
Yes.
And as a responsible traveler, I think follow I think you should like respect the culture, respect
Hmm.
the environment where you are
Hmm.
going, respect the people, the local
Yes.
people, and try
Correct.
to help and see if you can make any positive impact to that place or not. Or if
Yes.
you are if you are not if you cannot make any positive impact, at least do not make any negative impact on that area,
Yeah.
economically also, socially also, culturally also, and environmentally also.
Hmm.
Culturally, like don't make noise on that area. Don't if you are going in a jungle area, like don't make such loud noise, loud dancing. People do like loud noise in the wildlife. And you
Yes.
should do this if you want to be a a responsible traveler. People
Right.
go to Rishikesh in India. It's a holy city, and we have a river Ganga there, which we consider
Hmm.
as a holy river. People go there,
Yes.
they drink, they sit inside river and they drink there. So
Oh my God. Okay.
if a local tradition and local custom don't allow you to do this, please don't do this. Whether you believe on it or not, it's a different thing.
Yes.
But if you
Yes.
are from different land, then try to follow the custom and rules of that place, and then you will become a responsible person, I think.
Yeah.
And
So
overall,
respect. Yeah.
yeah, yeah, yes,
Respect.
yes, respect the other, and then you will definitely put something or other, like some positive impact on that place.
Hmm.
Definitely
Hmm.
don't throw garbages on the jungle area. Don't throw garbages on hill stations. If you are going by a car, try to put all your garbage in your luggage. If you have a big car, you can bring back that garbage. I always do that. If
Yes.
I go on a hill station or on a higher Himalayas, I always bring all my plastic. If
Hmm.
I
Hmm.
like, I try to use as less as possible. I don't use like most chocolate and biscuit, but if you use, like, I try to bring back that because it's not a much of it's just a little pouch and you can
Yes.
keep in your bag. So try to
Yes.
do. And if you talk about traveling as an overall as an industry, I think it's a responsible industry
Hmm. Hmm.
because as I think it is the most responsible industry in the world, because the day you start traveling, you start giving money to the local economy. You
Yes.
start positive impact. Like once you landed in a country or a place, you hire a taxi and you give
Yeah.
directly money to the cab driver, and that moment you start the positive impact on that economy.
Yes.
So
I
in that
completely
way, I
agree.
think traveling in itself is a positive and a responsible industry. And then
Mm-hmm.
you can do some changes. Like nowadays, eco resorts are coming up. They are government regulations are like this, that you have to set up a sewage treatment plant in your big resorts, and people are using solar plants, solar energy plants, and all
Yes.
organic materials people are using. So many things are happening, but
Mm-hmm.
try to be as local as you can, and as a resort also. If you are, if you're, and it's a collective
Yeah.
responsibility. Not only belongs to a traveler. It's a collective responsibility of the government, of the
Mm-hmm.
industry, of the tour operators. Tour operator also, they can also make a positive impact. They always, if someone asks, they give a set itinerary. They should
Yes.
try to bring some village area or some
Yeah,
homestay. They should.
yeah, I completely agree with that. Yeah.
So if they arrange, if it's a 7 day itinerary, if they give 2 days of homestay in that itinerary, definitely it will make a positive impact on that area.
Yes.
And same with the hotel industry, they can do. They can try to employ as much local people as you can.
Mm.
Try to buy things as local as possible. Try
Right.
to buy local vegetables, local, and travelers also. If you go in a, like, if I was in Kerala, so if I'm in Kerala and I'm eating some international cuisine,
Mm.
which, and the things are required to, like, it is like import. You have to import something to make that cuisine, then it will not impact the, will not give a positive impact on the local economy. Try
Right.
to consume things which are locally produced. So, and so you will make a more local, like more positive impact. And it is,
Yes.
I was searching on the internet, and I find that it is, in this term is called tourism leakage.
Hmm.
And
Okay.
tourism leakage is, and at the highest is in Caribbeans. It's 80% tourism leakage there. And tourism
Hmm.
leakage means the money which earns a tourism industry, but it goes outside of that country. So 80% of
Ah.
earnings of Caribbeans from tourism goes outside Caribbean nation, because most of the hotel owners are international groups, and most of
Yes.
the things they consume they import from outside.
Right.
So, and it is 40% in India. So
40%.
try,
Huh? Wow.
it's 40% in India. It's
Okay.
huge. Like, try
That's
to
huge.
reduce this tourism, like tourism leakage, as much as
Yeah.
possible, and it's a
That,
collective responsibility.
yes.
So if you do this, I think we can make travel more responsible, and
Hmm.
environmentally responsibility is also a part of this. I think
Yeah. Yeah.
economic, cultural, and every aspect related to this. Government also has a major role in it. They
Hmm.
can promote things. They can give like subsidies to local produce, or try to encourage people to use local
Yeah.
uh,
Yeah.
things. And so there are many aspects of this
Yeah,
responsibility.
that is wonderful information, Dipanshu. Because what you're saying, and that is so correct. It is individual responsibility, then moving into collective responsibility. You know,
Yes.
to kind of create sustainability, right, in
Yes.
whatever
Yes.
that you're trying to create as a tourism product, and also the idea of ensuring that it also localizes so that all your local resources also
Yes.
become productive economic resources for the local,
Yeah. Yeah.
community
Yes.
as
Yes.
well.
And
Yeah.
employ as much as possible locally. I think resorts should do this. They
Hmm.
should. I give you an example, like
Skill up, no,
how,
skill up. Yeah, skill up the local community.
yes, skill up the local community. Like, I was in Jaisalmer once, and in Jaisalmer, like every resort, they have a evening show in
Hmm.
their campus, and
Right.
5 to 6 local Kalbelia and local singers, Manganiyars, they
Hmm.
come there and they perform in front of tourists.
Hmm.
So I was in Jaisalmer, I think 4 or 5 years back, and I was sitting in some resort there, So those people came and they performed very well, and they were like six, I think 6 or 7. It was a whole crew, like singer and the drummer and the dancer and everything.
Okay.
After that, I was talking to the person and the hotel manager. So
Hmm.
there was almost like 70, 80 resort in that area, and
Okay.
every resort has such kind of performance every day.
Yes.
So six people are getting employment,
Hmm.
local people
Hmm.
every
Hmm.
day, one resort. So
Yes.
you multiply with 70, 80, or 100. So like 500, 600 people are getting employment every day in just
Yes.
one city.
Yeah.
So if you collectively see in entire Rajasthan or in entire like in India, if they do such kind of thing, then it will directly impact the
Yeah.
economy, local economy, because that money directly
Conscious.
to the
Conscious planning.
yes, and it
Yeah.
directly goes to the, and it's not a hard thing. Like being responsible doesn't mean that you can't live in a luxury resort or you
Hmm.
can't go by airplane. Like it's not like that. If I'm going to Kerala from Delhi, it takes like 40 hours by train. So it's
Yeah.
better for me to go by air and reach there in 3 hours. And after that, I can definitely like do whatever you can do
Yes.
in your capacity, and
Yes.
definitely you will make a good impact there. So there are
Yeah.
many things which can
Awesome.
industry as a whole and as a tourist we can do.
Yeah, awesome. Yeah, that is good to hear. And Carmen Fernandez is online and listening to us, and she says, "What an awesome topic! I love traveling too." Carmen, thank you for joining in, and stay tuned because we have a lot of more information from Dipanshu. As you also kind of agree that and understand that from the individual level and the collective level, there's so much that that we have to consciously create give and take, especially now post pandemic, with so many things that has changed. So, Carmen, thank you for joining in. And yes, I know you're saying hats off to both of you. Yeah, I think hats off to you too for for consciously joining into the conversation. And we hope that me and Dipanshu can add value to your time. So, thank you for joining in. And yeah, you're right, Dipanshu, from what you're saying, because you've traveled so much within the country itself in India, and you see that as you say, from such a close up kind of situation, being there, and that is what I kind of keep saying. What is each traveler's social responsibility towards being a responsible traveler? I think it almost kind of overlaps on what you've already shared, right?
Yes, yes, yes,
Yeah,
yes.
yeah. That each traveler has a social responsibility also towards being
Yes,
a social,
yes,
towards being a
definitely. You
responsible
have to be
traveler.
responsible as much as you can. Like
Yeah.
if you can use a tap, if you can find a filter water in some
Hmm.
place, then
Hmm.
I always carry one bottle with me, and my
Hmm.
friends know this. I always carry one water bottle with me. If I find a clean water in some place,
Yes.
I definitely fill that water with me. If I do not find, then I'll use the water bottle.
Yes.
Otherwise, I always, so it's not that you have to do this only and you can't do that, but uh, it's, if you can do some impact,
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
will make a
Small
huge impact.
contributions. Small
Yes, yes,
contributions, right? Lead to
yeah,
eventually to larger,
yeah, yes,
larger change. Yeah, you're
yes.
right. Yeah, you're
So
right. You're
don't
right.
overburden yourself. That now is this time I'm doing a responsible tourism, so I have to do only this things. No, no, no.
Yeah.
Don't overburden. Whatever you feel like, you just do it, and you will feel good after completing your trip.
Correct. Also, I think Dipanshu, such a wonderful way of also influencing young people in the family or within your circle, right? By example, by example, so that they also kind of learn how to become responsible individuals themselves when they become travelers, right?
Yes,
No, yeah, I
yes,
think
yes,
yeah, because like our schools are so focused, right, on the
yes.
on a set pattern of education that
Yeah,
sometimes I think social education sometimes gets lost in all that hullabaloo,
yeah,
of
yes,
getting
yes.
right, yeah, of getting
Yes,
grades,
but I must say that I'm lucky in that term because I was a scout since my school days,
ah,
and I'm doing camping since I was like 9 or 10, because I was in sixth class, and since then we are camping, scout camping and jungle camping. So I learned a lot of things during those my school days as well. So
Wonderful.
we used to carry our own tent. We were like this very young children, but the bigger, like the senior guys, they always carry the tent, and we used to leave our tent only. We used to carry our own baggage, own
Okay.
bedding, and we used to cook our own food, whatever help we could do at that time. But
Yes.
we are using, we are cooking ourselves at the age of 6, like learning things how the
Mm.
seniors are cooking, so making vegetable and curry, and so collecting like firewood from the jungle.
From the
So
jungle, yeah. Yeah.
so in that time, I must say that I'm lucky that, yeah, I was in a small town, and I learned a lot of things from my school days as well.
Yeah, and I'm sure that created so much of a impact on your young psyche, right?
Yes, yes,
Because
yes.
I don't know if it's compulsory in Indian schools that with
So
scouts and guides and stuff. I
yeah,
think they
it's
should make it
there. Yeah, it's
compulsory.
not compulsory, but it's there. Scout and Guide and NCC, both the things are available in. And I'm from a government school,
Hmm.
so that thing was like, and our teacher was a retired army person, so they strictly adhered all the policies of scouting. We used to do parade and everything, and
Ah,
we were very regular on those days. I don't know what's the situation right now, but yes,
okay.
it is available in government schools and in private schools as well. And I always say my friends that yes, join your children. They should join at
Yeah.
least NCC or
Yeah.
scouting something, and
Yeah.
so it's definitely, it gives a positive impact on your the whole life. Whole life
Yes.
you feel a positive impact.
Yeah, and I think it kind of creates a sense of accountability, responsibility at a
Yes,
very young age, right? With those
yes,
the scout values, the
yes,
scout, what is it?
yes,
Honor
yes.
and all those kind of things. Yeah, awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, awesome. Yeah. What did I do? I don't think I did stuff like that. Yeah, I was just my book in my nose in my books, and I think I focused on the grades.
No, I was in my 10th class, and my board
Mhm.
exam was like 20 days ahead. Like after 20 days, my board exam was there, and there was a presidential rally in Jaipur. So it
Ah,
was
okay.
like a 8 days rally, and scout rally.
Okay.
So my father said, no, you can't go because it's a board exam and it's a 10th board. So my scout teacher, they came to my house, and they
Ah,
like, persuaded my father that I should go there because it's a very prestigious rally, and he should join. And I went there. There were
ah.
20 days
Oh, that is
before
good.
my 10th exam. I went there in the winters, like in January, when
Yes.
temperature goes almost like up to the zero level, in 0 degrees in Rajasthan. And we
Ah,
stayed
okay.
there in tent and
Wow.
camping and all. So I always did this thing. I
I,
think it
I think,
also has something in my mind. Always
and
impact.
these are lifetime memories, right? You
Yes,
know,
yes,
because they
always.
create such a such a impact on your psyche, right? At that
Yes,
time, yeah.
yes,
Yeah, which we're getting to be very close. See how time just flies, Dipanshu, when we're
yeah,
talking about things that we love.
yes,
Um, Correct. How can you make an impact as a travel writer? This is also for audiences who will watch the show
yes.
later on as well as we share. How can you make an impact as a travel writer?
I think as a travel writer, we have it's a huge responsibility being
Yeah.
a travel writer, because it's an internet era, it's a social media era, and everybody in has a right to write something, and it can like viral in minutes and seconds,
Mm,
and videos can get viral, and posts can viral. So it is. I think in this time, it is a huge responsibility on travel writers, and the
right.
internet era, in the social area, it's a more it's a more like you should have more responsibility, because
Correct.
nowadays you don't find good articles on internet. Like I find articles like 6 places, 10 places to see
Hmm.
snow in summers in India, and the
Hmm.
places name they write like Kufri and Shimla, where
Yeah.
it's hard to get snow in winters as well. And
Yeah.
it's like very like shallow stuff is coming on internet. So
Hmm.
as a travel writer, as a
It's
travel,
lazy writing. I call it lazy writing.
they just find some stuff on internet and they just
Yeah.
copy it.
Lazy writing,
So
correct.
yeah, it's easy writing. So
Yeah.
it's the responsibility of travel writers that true to yourself, write about the place and do your research properly and write, do the honest writing,
Mm.
uh, give the honest like write-ups to your audience, and they love
Correct.
it actually,
Yeah. Yeah.
and the audience knows it that
Yes.
we give so much like effort behind the article, and
Mm.
when they read it, they definitely feel it. Whatever 100, 200, 500, whatever the audience read it, but those audience will definitely get a good information.
Yes.
So
Yeah.
don't write like it's not necessary that you write every day or every week or every month. Like it depends upon you. But whenever
Yeah.
you write, do your proper research
Yeah.
and go for a honest
Create
writing.
value, no? Yeah. Create
Yes,
value, right? Yeah. Create
yes,
value in that sense.
yes,
Yeah, yeah, that is awesome. Yeah, I also kind of I keep that in mind too, when I also sit down to kind of do my writing. That I must create value, which is whether it's a point of view or an opinion or a call to action, huh?
yes, yes.
So that it
So
can
I
create
feel good
impact.
when some of my friends they call me that they belong to the same place where I
Hmm.
traveled, but
Hmm.
they didn't know those things which I wrote or which like I show them. So that gives a that gives a positive feeling in mind also that okay, I'm doing something good. So
Yes, yes,
people
that's
are
right. You're making a difference in your own way.
yes, yes.
Yeah. So, what are your travel plans now, Dipanshu?
It's very difficult to say because sometimes it comes spontaneous. Like last week, I was in Jaipur, and in the evening, we were sitting at the home, and we just decided that we have 2 days leave and just make the program. And within hours, we just moved out. So it's very difficult, but definitely, I'm looking forward to the South Asian countries because
Mm.
before the COVID lockdown, I was in Malaysia, as you know.
Yes,
I did 3 trips in last 6 months and been to Indonesia also, and I was planning to go to Vietnam and Cambodia and Laos. So
yes,
I
yeah,
love South Asian countries actually. When I
yeah,
was in Malaysia and Indonesia. Now I love a lot of these countries because I relate a lot because
yes.
their customs, their values, and
Very
their
true.
tradition very near to Indian customs and traditions and their food habits and everything. So I
Correct.
want to explore those areas. I wanted to do before COVID, but definitely I'm
Mm-hmm.
looking forward to go to some South Asian countries in near future.
Yes,
So
me
and
too.
maybe a lot of
Me
travel in
too.
India.
Yeah.
So
Southeast Asia is on my radar for 2022, 2023, I think, because
same.
like you rightly said, you just feel absolutely completely comfortable because there
So
is a familiarity of culture and people. Of
yes,
course, the food, is always the high point of our travel,
yeah,
but the storytelling is very familiar, in that sense, right? Whether it's because and obviously you find Indians everywhere in Southeast Asia.
yes, yes,
Yeah,
yes,
they've just so beautifully integrated with the local
yeah,
culture, the local
yes.
population, and become very strong themselves, as a population demographic as well. So
Yes,
yeah, Southeast
everywhere.
Asia is on the radar. That's good to know. Maybe we can travel together.
Definitely.
Yeah, correct.
We
Okay,
can.
so I think that's a plan, Dipanshu.
Yeah.
That's a plan. Let's make that as a plan. So as we wind down heart to heart, fascinating this conversation,
So,
is three pointers or 3 points to consider if this is for our audience and hopefully to young people out there. 3 points to consider if you want to make a career as a travel journalist.
as a travel journalist.
Yes,
So there are two terms: a travel journalist and travel blogger.
correct.
So I would say try to be a travel journalist first,
Hmm.
because as a travel blogger, your journey will be little harder
Hmm.
because earnings are not there.
Yes.
At least in the start, at the start, if there's no earning.
Yeah.
So start as a travel journalist if you can.
Hmm.
A proper journalism training that will definitely give you a boost, definitely enhance your writing skills and something if you can do that.
Yes.
So go via that route. So one route is take a journalism, do some good journalism course, and try to join some good newspaper, because TV channels I don't see in India actually that they
Mm-hmm.
give emphasis on travel,
Yeah.
like storytelling or something. Even newspaper also, very few newspapers are giving like proper
Dedicated
emphasis on,
sections to travel.
yes,
Correct. Yeah.
I'm amazed to see like what I'm not amazed, like it's really bad that most of the travel, like most of the newspapers or TV channels on their
Hmm.
website, they do not have a proper travel section. Their
Yes.
travel
Correct.
section always comes under lifestyle. So you have to
Yes.
click lifestyle, then you will find that lifestyle. Then there is a film, there is fashion,
Hmm. Hmm.
there is architecture or something, and then in last you will find some travel thing, and they will
Yes.
find some random articles of 10 things see there, 10 things do there.
Yeah. The
They have a proper,
listicles.
they don't have proper journal, proper beat. I
Hmm.
don't think that I don't see that most of the good newspapers even they have a proper journalist and
Yeah.
proper
You're
beat.
right. You're right.
And because whenever I go on fam trips and I met like journalists on media trips,
Yes.
especially those come from a good newspaper, most of them are like random news, like okay, you can go now, this trip you can go, this trip you can go, like so.
Yeah.
And TV channels, because I worked in TV channels, so I know not a single TV channel as a travel journalist. So
Yes.
serious travel journalism, they
Yeah. You're
as a
right.
travel, what they
You're right.
think travel journalism is just to talk about the places. It's not
Hmm.
about the places. It's about the history. It's about the culture. It's about the social impact. It's about the economic impact. There's a
Yes.
lot of business stories related with the
Yeah.
travel thing.
True. Very true.
But they don't want to do that, and so it's really
So
feel bad.
hopefully, hopefully,
Uh,
Dipanshu, hopefully
Yes, I
that
think people should start
will
with
happen now.
the journalism career. And if you are a good story writer, and if you feel you can start as a travel blogger also, it's really
Hmm.
good. Good. So do your regular job and start as a blogger,
Yes.
and slowly you will grow. And if you find that now you can leave your job and you can travel, like you can accept as like you can follow this as a full-time career, and if you are earning good, then you can do so. Otherwise, like I know many of my friends, they are like travel bloggers, they are doing it as a part-timer, like they do their full-time job and they are doing good stories, like nice stories.
Yes.
So
Yes.
uh, you can learn. It's an art actually.
Hmm.
Storytelling,
Hmm.
it's an art, and you can
Yeah.
learn slowly.
Correct.
So both the ways are good, I think. So if you are passionate about journalism, you can go by that route. Otherwise, blogging is also a nice
Yeah.
thing.
And I think it's
And
passion, to kind of to be
yes,
dedicated to that, right? To be
yes,
consistently dedicated to that.
it's passion.
Yeah.
And, the only issue is the earnings. That
Hmm.
you earn with your blog, and that is, I think, very few of them. Like few of the bloggers are definitely earning, but
Yes.
I can't say that most of them are earning. So definitely, if you are planning to leave your full-time job for
Yeah.
travel blogging, at least have something in your hand, like
Correct.
some part-time job or something,
Yeah.
so you
Yeah.
can like match with your regular expenses, and then
Hmm.
you can travel blogging as well, and you can learn slowly. So
Yeah.
that is
Yeah.
also both the things you can.
Step at a time. Yeah. First is to
Yes,
figure out your passions and then your whole dedication to it, and then
yes,
move forward with that. Right. Okay. Step at a
yes,
time. And I guess
yeah,
now with travel slowly opening up, hopefully the
yes.
conversation and the narrative also will change now
Ah,
to
hope so.
wanting to travel healthy, wanting to seek out places that are
Yes,
also safe in that sense, right?
yes.
And also,
I
yeah.
want to say one more thing that
Hmm.
I think the travel blogger community, I belong to the travel blogger community. I think they are doing the better job than the mainstream media in India, at least in the field of
Okay.
travel. Like they will. Because they are writing, I think their stories are much comprehensive,
Hmm.
and they are traveling a lot and now
Yes.
understand the travel better than the normal person or a normal journalist. So they
Hmm.
are doing a better job,
Okay.
uh,
Okay.
better than the mainstream media.
Okay,
I think.
okay. All right. That sounds good. Then maybe you should probably kind of drop a link down in the chat or something, if anyone is interested, to kind of reach out to them or to join and things that way. Yeah, awesome. Yeah, this has been an awesome conversation, Dipanshu. Like
Thank you.
like I said, it doesn't feel like we are meeting after 2 years. It just
Uh,
feels like we've been talking all this time,
yes, 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 yes.
right? Yeah.
But
Wow.
before this talk, I was also like I was thinking that how would I talk for 60 minutes continuously on the same topic, but now it's almost six and
So yeah, correct. It just time just flies when you're talking about things of passion,
yes,
which is and that's why I love the heart to heart format, because it is a heart to heart conversation, with leaders who are making a difference in their spaces, and it can be whatever. It can be corporate spaces, community spaces, irrespective of that. And all our little small differences that we are adding to our spaces can create a long term or a long term impact, is what I
yes,
believe in. That we can contribute or give back to spaces that are giving us so much, no, in
yes.
that way, right? Yeah. So yes. So to my audiences and to Dipanshu's audiences too, please watch the video. Please watch Heart to Heart. Share it with your community. Share it with your with your young students and young people who have an interest in travel, to kind of have some sort of experts, who are on the platform, to learn from them, and maybe it can kind of enrich their decision making as well. When I also kind of share it, Dipanshu, please share it with your community too, and to your travel association, of bloggers and things that way,
Yeah,
because you never know who is watching and who will listen to, and
yes,
and some change can happen, in that way, right?
yes, definitely, actually.
Yes. So thank you,
Yeah.
Dipanshu, for joining.
Thank you, Ethel. Thank you for inviting me. And it was lovely talking to you and
I
sharing.
hope to see you in Malaysia
Uh,
soon.
I hope we'll meet soon.
Yeah, and I hope you can also travel um, soon in that sense, right?
Yes.
Because you said you want to see Southeast Asia. It's on my
Yes,
itinerary
in
too.
Malaysia also. A lot of part to see in Malaysia as well. Eastern coast, I definitely want to see now because I have seen the west
Yeah,
coast. I want to explore the east coast of Malaysia. It's
East Coast is
really
beautiful.
beautiful. And yeah, it's beautiful. And it's still raw and less touristy, so I want to explore that area.
Yeah, yeah.
So maybe on my
As I
next trip,
said,
I'll go on that side.
it's a
And if
plan.
everyone
It's a plan. And if you come, of course, I'm staying here. You're
yeah,
more than welcome, to come home over tea and whatever. There's plenty of food to even explore and see. Yeah. So
sure,
I've told all my friends to, just tell me and just come home, that kind of thing. Yeah.
sure, okay.
Right.
Brilliant.
Great. Okay. So this is good. This is really awesome. Thank you for making the time. And as I said, please share, once it's all out there. And Heart to Heart happens every Sunday. As you know, I have, different topics, different guests who I kind of curate and put it out there. And yeah, where we can make a difference, contribute to change, we can, because we are uniquely positioned, to create that kind of change and impact, the privileged positions, as we call it. So, Dipanshu, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank
Thank
you.
you. Thank you,
Have an
Vipul.
awesome Sunday. And
Yeah.
yeah, and keep doing what you're doing.
Thank you. Same to you as well.
Yes, yeah. That is the mission.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you, Dipanshu.
Okay. Bye bye.
Yeah. Bye and good night.
Bye.
Hmm?
Good night.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you. To all of my listeners who are there and who are watching and who will watch the show later on as well, please share this episode of Heart to Heart, because travel is up and going. We all want to become responsible travelers. We want to make sure that yes, that borders have opened up and countries have opened up, that we become responsible travelers, and you know add also that sense of collective responsibility to places that we go, so that we don't create negative impact, and add on to more and more positivism in the way we live, in what we do with ourselves, in our personal lives, in our professional lives, in the people that we interact with, so that we leave some sort of social impact and economic impact, where we can create, because we have the resources to create. So have an awesome Sunday wherever that you are. On my channel, you are there. Empower yourself as individuals. Have an awesome, great life, And as I said, thank you for being part of everything that I do. And I'm going to see you next Sunday to another fantastic episode of Heart to Heart, brought to you in association with the Mac Clinic Malaysia. See you soon. Bye there.